Let's do Charles in Covington. Hey, Charles, you're on Winning at Life with Gregory Ricks. How can we help you, Charles?
Good evening, gentlemen. The reason I called, what would be the best resource if someone wants to dabble in stocks? Because your earlier topic of, the newsletters and things, I don't trust very much news from the internet as far as, what stocks, but is there a certain resource that might best help in this?
I've got a number of them, and actually I can't give them to you on the air because I'd have to go back and look at my books and reading over the decades. And, I have some thoughts there, but this is where this isn't where you're going to go and find a newsletter or a guide and in a matter of weeks or months, pick this up and become very good at it. This takes a lot of time and a lot of reading and a lot of understanding, a lot of practice, a lot of getting it wrong out there. But I also think there's probably services that do analysis and probably give you help on what's right and wrong. And the other part is not just the reading, but it's also finding resources to help you sift through thousands of stocks to help on those decisions. And what I have found over the past 90 years, our research shows that stock picking is hazardous to your wealth. Most of the time, you're going to get it wrong. You're going to pick the wrong stocks. You're not going to have the momentum. You're going to be overweighted. It's going to be devastating when you get it wrong and the markets pull back. What history shows us, Charles, is using indexes skews a higher return than stock selection. Heck, you're going to go pick stock, and most fund managers do not outperform the market. And those guys get paid big money, a lot of schooling, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of resources. I think you ought to use the S&P 500 index as kind of a starting place, honestly. If you look, well, I've got a thing right here. Attention Robinhood, power users. Most day traders lose money. These guys that say, oh, I'm going to day trade, go take this course. The course is the one making the money. You're going to lose yours. And I've done this for 30 years, and I've done it all. And you know my favorite method is indexing. Makes us more money. And it's not that simple. That's why a lot of people bring us money, because we're pretty decent at it. But we try to improve upon decisions, and I don't believe you should have everything in stocks either. You need to have some blending, some safe money, some cash, opportunity money. That's kind of the start.
See, the thing that gets me about this conversation, Charles, sorry to interrupt, is we don't have this many questions about bonds. How do I pick the right bond?
Yeah, and you should have some bonds in the mix.
Right. And
now, that might change when interest rates going up some decade from now, but
when you talk about blending, you're talking about some fixed products, some bonds, some stocks over here. We don't get a whole lot of questions on how do I pick the right annuity? How do I get some info on the right bonds? There's just something sexy about stocks. Is it because everyone's already doing it?
Well, it's like the casinos. Get me if I get the right stocks, and they believe, and Charles, you along with a lot of others believe wealth is created through stock picking and getting that $2 one and riding it up to 200, and that's not where wealth comes from. It's a tortoise and hare. You know, we've got to be in this race for the long term, and we're going to come out ahead if we have consistency. You have a thought, question?
I've done the stock thing. This was actually for my son to give him something for his research. I know he's been doing some research.
How old is he?
He's got a little, he's 18.
Has he read The Latte Factor?
Probably not.
Call my office. We'll send you the book tomorrow for him. That's where he needs to start.
Okay. Because I've lost money in stocks. I don't do stocks anymore. But I wanted something that he can focus on so he can actually lose his own money, which I don't want him to do. I want him to be informed when he loses
let's
it,
inform
unlike
him.
me.
And a good starting place is the latte factor. For everybody listening, you want to give a great Christmas gift to young people, get them, call Amazon, whatever, whoever you want to use, or go to Barnes and Nobles. I'm not being biased. Just get them that book.
Was there a company that did it for you, Charles? Was there like a Xerox or a Microsoft or something that tanked you?
Well, it was a couple of things. It wasn't a big one. I did all small company stocks, supposed to be growing, and well, I lost a lot.
Yeah.
Right around 2000, I lost everything, or not everything, but
Man.
Enough to quit.
And
right.
oh yeah, I will never buy a stock. Sorry.
Yeah, I not a big fan of individual stock buying. If we're looking to make money long term and keeping it, we need to be diversified. We need to use indexes. One other thought here, Charles, is what people don't understand is most of us are buying from the same pool. Less than 1,000 companies make up 97% of the stock market. Less than 100 companies make up 50% of market capitalization there. And I can give you a handful of companies that make up a third of that market cap of those 100 there. So it's not like, oh, where is that stock? We're all buying pretty much from the same pool. And that's what people don't realize out there. And the history of the market is most stocks, repeat this, most stocks do not outperform 30-day treasuries. And that's not me saying that. I have research that shows that.
Anything else, Charles?
Can you spell that book?
Oh, the latte.
Latte, factor, Factor.
Okay.
The latte factor. Charles, your comments were perfect for the discussion we had planned today.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone called and said, I stayed away from stocks, already did it, already lost money. And it wasn't one big thing. He was buying a bunch of little ones, and these were the little guys that were expected to grow. And he's kind of doing sort of an attempted manual indexing where you spread it out and you're just trying to get like a wide swath. Yeah, so you don't get hurt by one. Perfect call. Thank you, Charles.